Monday, August 10th, looking at the euro. So we did have this little double bottom on the weekly with a strong bullish candle out. So generally, I'm bullish. On the daily, here's that structure. You can see break of the neckline. Now we are approaching these fibs. So, could see us pull back down from here. I don't know. But on the 240, we are still very much in an uptrend. That said, it is wedging, and we are entering the daily fib zone. But until we break structure, we don't break structure. So on the hourly, I have us right now with approaching the fib zone and doing it in a wedgie form. So a little bit of divergence, nothing too crazy here, but gonna watch how we enter this hourly fib zone here and still looking for buys. Again, on the weekly, we're up here. On the daily, yeah, we are, but whatever, we could see it. So that said, if we break this zone here, we I could see us pulling back pretty heavy um, until we look for more buys. But for right now, no reason to not just respect that we are in an uptrend. And this looks very impulsive and this looks very corrective. And so I've been keeping my eye on the 15 all day today. Somebody in the chat kind of figured a way to short up here, I think, based on this zone. Boom, boom. But I don't know, it's a little too cute for me. So I'm going to wait and see how this is actually old now and get this off here. So I'm just waiting to see how we form on this 15. But clean up these charts here, waiting for a break. In fact, there's a lot of little areas I'm watching that we could have a double bottom, but just wait and see.
Tuesday, August 11th morning, around 7 a.m. Euro update. So we are still milling around in the daily fib on the 240. We're respecting this channel. There is major divergence on it. See here on the 60-minute, we entered the fib zone and we came out. But I'm really waiting for a nice solid break around here or something cleaner on the 15. All right, we did kind of mill our way up here, but I want to see something either come back down, make a double bottom, or break this line here. I'll do a separate video on it, but I did do a long in here. I never waited for this to close above, which was my big mistake, and then ended up losing, but we did break out of the wedge, and so I need to do a video on that as well.
All right, it's about 10:30, Tuesday the 11th, and this is a pretty big video because I've just been getting stomped on the euro, and it's from bad execution. So this, you got to watch this, and you got to learn from it. This is unacceptable. So in general, let's get, why is this doing this? All right, in general, we was waiting for this pullback into the fib zone and getting quite impatient, and like just executional error wise, first mistake I made was I got long last night from my phone at a break right here of this wedge. Now, you could argue this wasn't the worst trade to make. You don't know where things are going to pull back. The fib is not necessarily law. And so we did have this cluster here. We did come down, have sort of a head and shoulders, and we shot out of it. So, I'm not kicking myself too bad on this one. I put my stop below here, got tagged out on this bar. What I'm more upset about is today I saw this kind of whatever this is, this wedgie kind of flag pattern where we did hit the 240 fib, or sorry, the fib on the 60 minute, but there's no double bottom here. There's no real double bottom here. And on the 5 minute, what I told myself was that I took this measurement on the 15 and we did have this double bottom with the break of the neckline here, but then we just melted right back through. So in general, this wasn't, I'm fishing on the 5 minute, just going back to here, like nothing clean, nothing clean. I am going to watch and see if we set up a real trade to take, but you have to let the market tell you it's ready to go, and you have to wait for structure that you recognize. And I had no business playing around in this, and I'm now down two decent trades by not following my rules. Wednesday, August 12th, end of day. Euro, I have just been getting destroyed. So we were in this fib zone on the 240. We were channeling up some pretty significant diversions. That may have been my cue. My problem was well, I won't say it's a problem, but what I was doing is saying, well, technically we still are. The hourly has not broken this major low yet. And we came down into this fib zone, and then we broke above the neckline, and I actually got in around here and then put my stop below, and we crashed through. So honestly, this is not, I mean, I maybe could overthink it and say we're on the fib zone of the daily. We broke out of a channel here, but we don't have a change of structure on the 240 yet. And we did have a double bottom and a close bar above. So as much as I want to beat myself up, had this was a good entry and a loss in a way. That said, the ones I did a video on before where I got in here, they were not. So take good trades only. This would have been a good trade and a loss, but is what it is. Thursday, August 13th, want to do a little update on the euro. So in general, I was targeting on the daily this double bottom, the break of the neckline, and then we were kind of channeling up into the fib zone. We've just been milling around here. So I still don't quite know what the play is here. Are we going to just break way back down because we're in the fib of this daily downtrend? But this break of change character here shows me we're bullish still, and I have no reason to go otherwise. On the weekly, real quick, I mean, we were bearish, but then we were in this range here, double bottom, broke out. So bullish. On the 240, we were in this channel. There was a lot of divergence, and I got pretty chopped up around here, getting milled out. But now we have not broken below the last strong low, and we kind of rallied up. And what that rally up to me is what I see is we were in bearish. Pathing tool on here. So on the hourly here, we were bearish. This break is lower, even if you go all the way here. But then we came up and we had our change of character. So we had our change of character here. We broke above these highs, closed above them solid, and now we're pulling back. And on the 15, what I see is this is the fibs down here, but right here is the last high area of value, and we could be forming a nice double bottom right here. In which case, if we break and close above, what might even happen while I'm filming here, that line there, I will be targeting to get back up to these highs at least, and we'll see what happens. Good day, Thursday, August 13th, Euro update. So I did an update on kind of my more macro things, but just wanted to update. So on the 60, we did have this change character. We're pulling back. On the 15, I was looking at if this, when it was here, was a double bottom, but we never broke it. And we're coming down here. So it could be that this is a bigger double bottom, whoops, and we come back up. It also could be that we pull back down into this fib zone. Uh, it could be that it crashes, it goes down forever. It could do whatever it wants. But right now, I am still just sitting on my hands waiting, but I'm looking long because, again, on the hourly, it shows the 15 there, but we broke and closed. We changed character. We were pulling back. So looking for a nice little entry here on the euro. Thursday, Asia open 4:30 my time. We did have a break of the euro. I'm in my head about, is this too spread out of a double bottom? Should have been closer like this one, but you know, we're change character here, pull back. We are in a major zone of interest, double bottom, break of the neckline. So gonna take this trade. Gonna hope this one works. Targeting is tricky for me. Do I target the last high here, which is also the same one on the hourly, right? Or do we go for this one more up here? Let's see, the fib extensions up here is somewhere between the two, so reasonable. Maybe I'll do 70% here-ish, 20% here-ish. All right, today is Friday, the 14th, a little before 9 Pacific. So I just wanted to update on the euro trade I took yesterday. This is the hourly chart, but on the weekly, broken out structure, bullish, daily, we were around this fib zone that was kind of scaring me. We channeled, we kind of pulled here, but now look, fib zone's gone. We're well above it. On the 240, I got chopped up here. One good trade I took was this double bottom pop up, but then we shot down. But then here we go. So on the 60-minute, I got in. Well, on the 15-minute, yikes, this is a lot of. Let's get rid of some of this stuff so it's clean. On the 15-minute here was the double bottom, right? So I saw us come down, and then on the hourly, this happened as well, but we broke change of structure here, and we pulled back into this support zone. And on the 15-minute in that support zone, we formed this double bottom, so I got long. Stops, I was debating here or this high here, and I think I split the difference and went right here in this congestion zone. So I had a very strong trade, not kicking myself at all on this, but it did shoot even higher than that, which is fine. It's hard because I want to say, oh, this is why you let it run, and this is blah, blah, but then if you look at my oil and my euro trade, or sorry, my oil and my gold trade, like actually, I kind of wish I just got out at like a 1.5 R. So I, yeah, I got out at a decent 2.5 to 3. I think with the entry, the fill, I actually was more like up here. So it was a two. It was a two bagger though. I mean, I did good on this trade. This was a great trade. Um, on the 240, we did hit this last high, or now we're breaking up to another high here. And so, targeting this high would have made a lot more money, but I was really making it based on, well, I guess on the 240, we hadn't broken this low and we'd come back in the support zone and we're shooting up. But I was more looking at it on the 60 and stuff. So targeted this high or in the middle here. So, would have loved to ride this thing all the way up, but at the same time, made some really good money. Closed it out while I was asleep. Can't be too mad at myself here. As for right now, we are clearly very bullish on the 60-minute. And so next week, going to just be waiting to see how high this goes. Looking for pullbacks and entries to the bullish side. Friday, August 14th, market close. Quick just ending update on the euro here. So we never actually closed above this high on the 240, which I find interesting. And depending on how this candle technically closes, we may be in a 240 pullback and see ourselves being more range bound. We'll see. Don't know. But if we are pulled back here, we'll see what kind of shapes up on the 60. But we may have a double top form or something that puts us down to this bottom of the range. Don't know. But that's how we ended. We did end kind of landing right back where I put my out. No, never mind. That's not true. I put my out down here. But yeah, so that's how we ended.